With me today, I have three of my favorite devices going back to the iPhone 13 mini, then the 16e, and currently the iPhone Air. And what I want to talk about is why great phones like this don't have a long future. The first place I want to start is with the iPhone 13 mini. And just one look at this device, right? And you see it standing next to the iPhone 13 or the 13 Pro. This is a 17 Pro, but look at this and then look at this, right? You just look at the size and you look at the lack of one extra camera, and automatically this seems like the inferior choice. But you realize that this is the better choice, especially for some people, when you actually go to use this. Because guess what? This device offers something that no other device does, a one handed experience. Sure, it comes with a smaller display, and sure, it comes with like worse battery life, but simply because of physics, right? They can't pack as much battery in here as you can with larger devices. And then you do have one less camera. But when you use this device on a day to day and you have that experience and you are able to put it into your pocket without your pocket sagging or without your hands wearing down from just using the device, that's when you get to realize how amazing this is. And one cool thing about the 13 mini is if you look at the amount of tech packed into this tiny device, like sensor shift stabilization in the camera, then you've got like 5G, you've got amazing capabilities, you've got amazing performance, you've got an OLED display. Sure, it's a small one, but it's an amazing one. This is just a wonderful experience. But again, it goes back to when you take the average consumer and you put this phone beside the other phones, it just simply doesn't stand a chance. The name, Mini, refers to it being some kind of compromise. Like, if you look at how we perceive value, is whenever we go to like a store or anything else, we always see value with more quantity, right? The bigger the value pack is that comes with a lot of chips, that must be better because you're getting more for your money. And same thing here, like you take a $700 small phone and then you put it up against a phone that is $1,000. All of a sudden you're like, wait, why would I pay $700 for this? It doesn't make sense, right? So just the placement of the device within the lineup itself is something that crushes the device altogether. It's only like all companies like have a core audience that they know is going to actually walk into the store and go and gravitate towards the device that they actually want to buy. Most consumers actually buy what is marketed to them. Think about it. Every time the new iPhone comes out, when Apple sends that email, did once Apple send you an email about a 13 mini? Did once Apple send you an email about the 16e? Not at all. The email that hits your inbox is the email of the Pro model because it has the three cameras and it has this and it has this feature and that feature. But see, I'm just a normal user. I honestly, I don't, I don't fit into the tech YouTube space, and that's fine. I'm just like a normal user that enjoys these products. I understand all of these products in their own right and for the specific users that they're designed for. But I also know that I'm a pretty light user. I use my phone in a very different way. I use my phone as basically a phone first, and then everything else that comes with it is just a bonus. You see, to understand a lot of this, whether it's the price of the device or the structure of the lineup and everything, it all boils down to the psychology of marketing products. Because I sell a car mount, right? But if I added another car mount variant, which was the exact same mount, but that one had the trail lock MagSafe magnets, and for the photos, it showed a lot of people in their Jeeps and trucks off-roading with the car mount and everything, right? And it's $10 more. You, as a regular user, even though you may never go off-roading, you're gonna buy that one. But a lot of people, a small portion, will still buy the regular one. They'll be like, yeah, I don't go off-roading. But because the off-roading one with the trail lock MagSafe gives you that perceived value that, oh, this is going to be the one with the stronger hold, you're going to buy that one. That's just how it works. And so when you put an iPhone mini against all these other phones and you price this at 700, that's what leads to the product failing. Now let's move to the iPhone 16e, another wonderful device. Like, I took this to Japan with me. I've talked a lot about the C1's efficiency. I've talked a lot about just the lightweight design, the single camera. But again, you look at this stacked up against a lineup of products that have more cameras, more this, more that, this feature, that feature, right? And all of a sudden, paying $600 for this device doesn't make sense to a lot of people. But again, that core audience will understand that, hey, I just want a light phone with a solid camera. I like the simple design, and this is what I'm going to roll with. I really can't emphasize how wonderful of an experience the iPhone 16e is. And you know what? I've been saying this. I've been talking about the C1X in the iPhone Air, which we'll get to in a second and everything. But those things like C1X, N1 chip, right now the iPad Pro M5 just came out, right? And in that, you have the N1 chip and you have the C1X. And guess what? Now the mainstream population is actually going to find out about those chips and their efficiency and how great they are compared to like the cellular Qualcomm chips that you find in like the Pro lineup. They are in a product now that is mainstream, that most people want to buy. Most people don't buy the iPad mini. Again, another great example of where price and just positioning in a product lineup destroys the actual product. And then you see another thing these devices all suffer from is the lack of coverage. And initially they get a lot of coverage because, it's a new model and everything. But then in the tech YouTube space, a lot of the people are pro users and more advanced users. And so they also gravitate towards these pro iPhones and everything. And there's nothing wrong with that. Everybody has their own choices to make and everybody can use their own favorite products. This is why we have choices. But again, because that is the majority of the people, that is where the majority of the attention goes. And that's why I at least try to do my best to make more and more content about devices like the mini lineup and then the 16E. I think I have like 20 videos on the 16E and it just came out like not too long ago. I think it was March when this device actually came out. And that's because I understand the substance here and I am looking at things from just a day to day user. But see here, I'll give you another example as to why devices like this fail. When you go to the store, right? I went to the store with one of my friends. He wanted to actually switch to T-Mobile because he's traveling. And one of the things I love about T-Mobile is the fact that wherever you go, you automatically get a free data connection and everything. So when I traveled to Canada, Morocco, Japan, I landed there. I had my eSIM and whatever device I had at the time. And then I was just good to go. I used my WhatsApp, I used iMessages for the entirety of the trip. And so when we go to the store, as we're waiting to be dealt with, the actual rep of the store, he's talking about the iPhone Air and he tells the person, he's like, yeah, this doesn't have the ultra wideband of the 5G connectivity. And I was just looking at that. I was like, man, what a shame, right? What a shame because 5G ultra wideband is only available in like select spots. Like when you go to like whatever your downtown is, for me, it's like downtown DC. You'll get it in like certain blocks, like literally certain blocks of the city, and then it's non-existent. It's not something that actually is something I would base buying a device off of, simply because when I had it on my 13 mini, majority of the time I was just using regular 5G. And by the way, we get so caught up in speed and 5G and all of that and ultra wideband. Do you realize that even if you have like a 70 megabits down internet connection, which is really slow compared to like, these days, right? You can watch 4K content. Like you don't need 5G ultra wide band to actually stream 4K content. So there's a little fun fact for you. But yeah, devices like the 16E, the 13 mini, they suffer from a lot of these things. And likewise, now I'm sure if you have an iPhone Air or if you're looking at the iPhone Air, you're going to see that it's not doing really well, right? And again, here too, you look at the price of this device, it's $1,000, and then the Pro is 1099. It's $100 difference, and you see one camera, you see three cameras. And you're like, okay, yeah, this is thin and light, but okay, maybe it's because it's light, it doesn't have good battery life. Yeah, this has great battery. This has ProRes, Pro RAW, three cameras, and everything. What most people don't even realize is, again, this is a very capable device. I love the Pro models, and it's great for the people that actually want it. But watch this. My wide lens is covered up. I'm on 8x right now. Look at that. Most people don't even realize that the wide lens is what the Pro models are using 90% of the time. So going back to the iPhone Air, a lot of people are just not going to be able to see the substance that is offered here. In order to see the substance in a device, whether that's the 13 mini or the iPhone 16e or the iPhone Air, you've got to use it. And a lot of people don't use this beyond those first couple of days. And so you never even dig into like the good things about a device. At least that's the way I look at it. For example, the other day I woke up at 4:35 a.m., right? And at 4:35, this is my screenshot of my battery life at 12:09 p.m. And it started at 4:35 at 80%. So 50% of battery in 8 hours. In those 8 hours, I had 3 hours, 7 minutes of active screen time and 3 hours and 54 minutes of like idle time where I was listening to like background things. Throughout this time, my Ringcon ring is connected to my phone 24/7. And also, this was a day where I had AirPods on and I was listening to YouTube music. And after 9 a.m., I was actually outside. If you saw on my channel the video I posted about my desk setup, I actually used a hotspot on this phone at around 10 a.m. to upload that video to YouTube from a cafe. So these are things that you will never even find out simply because you don't live with the device. And then after this, I basically topped up the device and it took me through the rest of my day well into the night. So, see, these are just things that go unseen because you don't live with the device and you don't even give it a chance. And most people won't give this device a chance. The only reason a lot of my friends and family are actually giving this a chance is because I am actually telling them that this is a good device, this is a wonderful device, and a lot of them that have bought it are simply in love. And that is the case for the iPhone 13 mini, right? And the iPhone 16e. These are wonderful devices, but unfortunately, a lot of people are not even going to be able to see the substance that these devices pack. And you see, this is why devices like these that I've mentioned today, they just don't have a very long future because just people just don't get it. You watch when they take the iPhone Air and they sandwich two of these together and make a foldable and add an extra camera, and it has the C1X in there, or maybe the C2X, whatever they end up calling it. All of a sudden, it's going to be a game changing device. Foldables have existed. The Galaxy Z Fold 7, I reviewed it. It's an amazing device. But because it doesn't have iOS, there's a lot of people it's never going to cater to, right? So that foldable is all of a sudden going to be a game changer, and it'll be good for the C1X because it'll get the attention that it deserves. And I also said that with these Pro devices, I'm looking forward to them getting the C1X chip or the C2 or things like the N1 because it'll make these devices even more efficient. But nobody gets that, right? Nobody talks about these type of things. And so I wanted to just take a moment today. It's currently Sunday, 6:47 a.m. when I'm recording this, and you will see this Sunday at noon on my channel. And I hope that you find some value because I've been seeing this popping up in the comments by both people that love these devices And then there's always those special people that are somehow here to watch an iPhone Air video when they're never even going to buy an iPhone Air, just to tell everybody that it's going to be a failure or whatnot and blah blah blah. It's like, dude, stop wasting your time. I don't watch Pro Max videos, not because it's a bad phone, but it's because it's a phone that I'm never even going to buy. It's too large for me, man. So you will never find me in the comment section over there. So anyway, take care of yourself. And if you found some value, if you enjoyed this video, do give me a thumbs up, as it'll help this video get out to more people that actually love these devices, so they can understand a bit as to why they're not going to be here for very long. So let's enjoy them while we can. Take care of yourself, and I will see you in the next video.